Donald Trump has had a bad past few days, and now everybody in the GOP is panicking. So Raw Story explains here. He refused to endorse House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senator John McCain in their primary races, repeatedly insulted a Gold Star family, joked about receiving a Purple Heart, and removed a noisy baby from a campaign rally, all in about 4 hours on Tuesday afternoon. So now John Carl, the chief White House correspondent for ABC News, is reporting this bombshell as to how the big-time players in the Republican establishment are responding to this.
And you're reporting something pretty startling right now. You've got senior officials inside the Republican Party actually exploring what to do if Trump drops out.
This is absolutely unprecedented. First of all, I am told that RNC Chairman Reince Priebus is furious that he has had multiple discussions with Trump, telling him he needs to drastically change course. But here's the news. I am told that senior officials at the party are actively exploring what would happen if Trump dropped out, how to replace him on the ballot. The answer, George, is they can't force him out. He would have to go out voluntarily. And then it would be the 168 members of the RNC through a complicated process. They would pick a new candidate. It would have to happen by early September.
But they think that's a real possibility?
He is so unpredictable right now. They are so unable to control his message that they just don't know. And they clearly think it is a possibility, which is why they're looking at these rules.
What the fuck? So top Republican officials are going, we need to have a backup plan for if he drops out, because good googly moogly, he is self-destructing, and this could be the end for him. So what will we do? What's the process if he drops out? This is unprecedented. And now they're determining, oh yeah, by the way, how convenient. If he does, well, all the top Republican officials get in the room and we pick. That's almost like the ideal scenario for them. They probably want him to drop out. In fact, they definitely want him to drop out. They might be applying pressure on him right now, like, you got to drop out. You got to drop out. And with, the story we covered yesterday, it was a gigantic story, and we learned his motivations into running in the first place. You start to wonder whether or not he thinks that's an option that he might like. Because, guys, his top official, one of his top officials in the campaign, admitted, dude, we had no idea we would win. None. He didn't expect to win. If you told him at the beginning he would win, he would have been like, ha, that's cute. So we learned that angle of it. We also learned his strategy was a mistake. He met with Mitt Romney's top financial bundler, the person who raises all the money for him, and he's like, can I count on you to help me? And the guy just didn't want to be in the meeting anymore, so he made some shit up. He's like, what had happened was, here's the thing, man, I don't know why you're raising money at all anyway. Why don't you just go out there and say, I'm against the corruption, I'm against these puppets, and then maybe use that as a strategy. So he's just trying to get out of a meeting, and he said that. Trump said, great idea. And it worked. And it fucking worked. So, based on all these stories, you get the sense that he's obviously in over his head. There's no doubt about that. But now they're talking about, the thing is, I would be amazed if there wasn't immense pressure behind the scenes on him where people are saying, no, you're dropping out. Like, I think top Republican officials are telling him, dude, it's over. You're dropping out right now. Now, knowing Donald Trump, that might be all the fuel he needs to say, fuck off, I'm riding this bitch into the rocks. But the fact that that kind of pressure is likely being applied to him, the fact that this is a leak that, a top reporter is talking about, that Republican officials are scrambling, like, what'll happen if he drops out? Man, what a weird election cycle this is. And by the way, so this is worst case scenario, what they're talking about here. Oh my goodness, he'll drop out, and then we got to have a process in place where we fix everything. And by the way, how will Trump's fans respond? Ooh, I don't even want to think about that. But best case scenario is there was another article that said that the top Republican officials, like even people like Rudy Giuliani, they planned an intervention for Donald Trump where they sit him down and they go, hey, look, slapstick, get your shit together. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't question this fucking, Muslim family that had their son die in war fighting for the United States of America, and all of a sudden you're saying stupid shit that's against them. You can't do that. You can't do that. The fucking Purple Heart scenario, I even missed that story. You know, after Trump was attacked by the Khan family, he goes and does at one of his rallies, he has some fucking military person give him a Purple Heart. And he said, I always wanted a Purple Heart, except this way I didn't even have to work for it. Oh, God, Don, shut the fuck up. Don, what are you doing? Oh, it's so stupid. Why would you say that? He's just inviting all this fucking controversy. So, but here's the thing. When push comes to shove, will it all stick? I don't know. Because in my mind, and you guys have heard me make this argument a trillion times before, but the time to get outraged and to, you know, do the breaking news banners and to talk about it for a week straight is, for example, when Donald Trump said, we need to take out the families of ISIS in the Middle East. So advocating killing civilians in the Middle East. Okay, there's a time where you go hair on fire, everybody go nuts. He's talking about killing civilians on purpose. That's a U.S. president saying, I want to be a terrorist. There's a time to lose it. It's a time to lose it when he keeps repeating about how the Geneva Conventions is, quote, the problem, and it's out of date, and he's going to change it. That's a problem. Fucking talk about that. When he says, I'm going to bring back torture, I'll bring back worse than waterboarding. I'm going to torture, quote, even if it doesn't work. You lose it over that. You should lose it over that. These are the things that are super important. But it's happened too much in this election where the worst things he says that are policy related, put that to the side. But when he says things that are, you know, kind of PC outragey, like, oh, he kicked a baby out of the thing. I did a segment on that yesterday. I don't give a fuck. The baby was loud. He's like, and he wasn't too much of a dick about it. He was joking at first, like, oh, I love when, oh, healthy baby. I love that. I love it. And finally he's like, you know, would you mind just please take it outside? Like, people are more outraged over that than when Trump says, I will actively kill babies in the Middle East. I will shoot fucking missiles at their faces because we got to take out their families. We got to take out their families. So the meter is off. I've always felt like that about the mainstream media and Trump. Their outrage meter is just broken. They don't know when to be outraged. Like, they're making a bigger deal about he refused to endorse Paul Ryan and John McCain. Like, I get how that's a big deal because it's Speaker of the House and it's John McCain, who's been a senator, a Republican senator since the year 8. So I get it, big deal, but there's more focus on that than any of the other legitimate scandals. So I don't know. There's a good chance this only emboldens Trump and gives him more fuel, and he goes, fuck it. No, fuck all you guys. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it my way. Either that happens or the crazy scenario, the unprecedented scenario of basically he's given no choice, and they tell him, no, we're telling you you're dropping out. That's it. That's it. And then somehow the party forces him into doing it by tricking him or whatever the case is. Into voluntarily stepping down, and then we move on to the next chapter. But either way, this election is fucking weird, it's strange, and it's crazy.